NBA 2K rating recap for November 20th, 2025. The Philadelphia 76ers moved to 9-6 on the year with a 123 to 114 win in overtime over the Milwaukee Bucks. Tyrese Maxey with a career high 54 points on 18 of 30 shooting from the field, 6 of 15 from 3, 12 of 14 from the free throw line. Second game of the year for Paul George. He had 21 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3 in 25 minutes. Holy shit, is he healthy? That's got to be better than any game he played last season. He started at the 4 in this one. Justin Edwards started at the 3, had 7 points, 31 minutes at the 3. They opted not Don Barlow's been the other predominant starter at the 4 this year. He had 2 points in 29 minutes off the bench. Played a lot of backup center in this one with Andre Drummond struggling through foul trouble. 6 fouls in 18 minutes for Drummond. And we always check in on rookie VJ Edgecombe. He had 12 points, 10 rebounds, but shot 5 of 14 from the field in 38 minutes. He's been struggling a lot with his shot ever since the first week or so of the NBA season. Going over to the Milwaukee Bucks, they played their first game without Giannis since he went down with his groin injury. They dropped to 8-8 on the season, but we had a career game for Ryan Rollins, 32 points, tying his career high, and then had a career high 14 assists in this one. But before we dive in a little on Rollins, Bobby Portis got the start in this one, moving into the lineup rather than Gary Trent, which I had more or less anticipated, but I should have thought about it a little harder because that's typically what Milwaukee's done anytime Giannis is hurt, as they just need a hub offensively to soak up shots while he's out. So Portis had 19 points on 9 of 14 from the field, 28 minutes. So look for him to continue that. I did swap around positions a little bit just to kind of reflect the future that the Bucks have for themselves over the next 2 weeks or so with until Giannis gets reevaluated. And then just diving in a little more on Rollins. Coming into this one, he had a 17.7 player efficiency rating, was averaging 17 points, 5 assists, 1.7 steals in 31 minutes. He had a 63 true shooting percentage, 23 usage rate this year. That's plus 3 true shooting from last year, plus 5 usage from last year. 25% assist rate, which is plus 7% from last year, and then 46% from 3 on the year, now 43% for his career. He's also got 8 dunks in 464 minutes compared to 5 dunks last year in twice as many minutes, 820. So I've got him up to an 83 overall, which is still 2 points higher than what the 2K Sports roster has him at. They put out an official update yesterday that I went through. And he'll probably continue to climb just a little bit more, especially if he's going to be putting up lines like this while Giannis is sidelined. Some notable changes for me. I did boost a couple of his badges. Shifty Shooter, I've got this up to a silver. 2K has no badge on him. I did add a bailout, which they did. Just diving in a little bit on some of what went down in 2K's roster update. They had, I think it's 16 rating edits compared to a lot more in like the first update. So it was a little easier for me to go through and make a lot of the not make the changes that they made, but review what they made, and then I can review the player and make my own assessments. So I've got the bailout on him. He's upped his playmaking ability this year. I've also got Dimer on him, Deadeye, Mini Marksman. They don't have all of those on him. Well, they did add Mini Marksman, but I typically pair this with Deadeye for smaller guards. So I've got that on him. And Shifty Shooter, he's taking 4.2 pull-ups and step-backs per 36 minutes, i.e. off the dribble jumpers. Last year, only 1.8 per 36, so he's essentially doubled his rate. Rollins was a throw-in from the Warriors to the Wizards in the Chris Paul trade. He was waived by the Wizards after his shoplifting incident and then signed a two-way with Milwaukee. So clearly, the Wizards gave up on him way too quickly. He would be the best player on their team right now. Meanwhile, they salary dumped Jordan Poole for CJ McCollum, with Poole being the framework of that trade. And then can you imagine if the Warriors had just held on to him? Like, Curry doesn't even have an actual backup. So they would, Ryan Rollins has really, of course, gotten the great opportunity and plays next to Giannis. But even without Giannis in the lineup, he's shown that he's a real player in this league. Probably a top 20, on the lower end of top 20, but still like a top 20 point guard in this league. And And then let's move on to the Memphis Grizzlies, who dispatched the Sacramento Kings. I checked the score of this game at work, and I laughed out loud. 137 to 96, the Grizzlies beat the Kings. No Jaren Jackson or Ja Morant in this game, and they won by 41 points. Holy shit, we're going to get to that when we get to the Kings section. But for the Grizzlies part, they had a team record 42 assists. Santi Aldama had 29 points on 11 of 19 shooting. Season high for him. 5 of 11 from 3 as well. Zach Edey, second or third game back for him. 16 points, 7 of 7 from the field against the joke front court that is Sacramento. Vince, not a point guard. Williams, 4 points, a career high 15 assists in only 24 minutes. Colin Coward, 19 points. Jock Landale, 21 points off the bench. What? So 37 points on Landale was 8 of 9 from the field. So 15 of 16 from the field for the Grizzlies centers. What the fuck? Max Prosper, 11 points, 3 for 3 from the field, 18 minutes. Of garbage time. 42 assists to 7 turnovers. A 7-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. The Sacramento Kings made the Memphis Grizzlies with no point guard look like prime fucking Chris Paul. The Sacramento Kings, they dropped to 3-13 on the year, their 8th straight loss. The Kings shot 46% from the field and lost by 41 points in this fucking game. Killed on the glass. No second chance opportunities. 4 offensive rebounds versus 38 defensive rebounds for Memphis. Meanwhile, head coach Doug Christie came into this one talking about how these guys are playing hard and playing the right way. How does this motherfucker still have a job? Season debut for Keegan Murray in this one. 11 points off the bench for whatever God knows reason in 33 minutes. I guess maybe they're bringing him along slowly. It was really important to keep together the starting duo of Drew Eubanks and Precious Achiuwa as your starting front court. What the fuck are we doing, Doug Christie? Sabonis out 3 to 4 weeks with a torn meniscus. So starting center Drew Eubanks, 9 points in 26 minutes. Precious Achiuwa, 2 points in 24 minutes. Wowee. How are these guys going to play 50 minutes combined and not grab a single offensive rebound? What are we doing? Maxime Reynaud, the backup center in this one, 12 points in 21 minutes off the bench. He didn't have an offensive rebound either, so 70 minutes from all your front court players. Couldn't grab one fucking offensive rebound. All 4 offensive rebounds in this game were all grabbed by guards. Like Monk had 1, Ellis, Westbrook, and Schroeder all had 1 offensive board. Absolutely fucking disgraceful. This is a coach firing worthy performance from this team. Zach LaVine, 26 points. He's been up and down all year. Same with DeMar DeRozan, 7 points, 4 fouls, 15 minutes for him. Russell Westbrook has kind of cooled off. 11 points, 4 turnovers, 20 minutes. Dennis Schroeder, another Jekyll Hyde game for him. He had 20 whatever in the last one. This one, 3 points, over 8 from the field, 25 minutes. What the fuck is this team? Orlando Magic, they moved to 9-7 on the year, 129 to 111 over the LA Clippers. Magic, 6-2 in their last 8. They are 3-1 without Paulo Campero. The Kings fucked me up bad, guys. The Magic are 3-1 without Paulo Banchero. They are 6-6 with him. So they are playing a lot better since he went down. Franz Wagner, 20 points, 0 for 2 from 3. The other 4 starters on the team, 12 of 24 from 3, 50%. Tristan Da Silva as a starter in 4 games, 16.8 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, 48% from the field, 46% from 3, 60 true shooting on 20% usage. Crazy what this team actually looks like when they don't have 2 guys who don't space the floor. Franz and Paulo are just they have too many overlapping skill sets, so it makes sense that they actually they don't really play better with Franz and Banchero on the floor, at the very least. So I think that they should probably look to move one of those guys. Desmond Bane's been playing a lot better, as well as he's not just relegated to being a shooter in the corner. And some of this is, with Banchero out, they're moving the ball a lot more. Jalen Suggs has been playing a lot better. He's also more or less off his minutes restriction. I think he's up to like 27 minutes or so right now. Going over the LA Clippers, they dropped to 4-11 on the year. Different story for them. Kawhi Leonard out for his 9th straight game this year. The Clippers have a 1-8 record without him, whereas they're 3-3 with him. So they have been absolutely brutal without having a secondary scorer next to James Harden. Harden, for his part, 31 points and 8 assists. But Zubats, 14 points, but on 7 of 16 from the field, so actually not that great of a line. Had a lot of offensive rebounds, so a lot of Drummond rebounds in this one. He had 19 overall and then 5 offensive. Nobody else on this team was in double figures. Kobe Sanders, second game as a starter, 6 points, 2 for 8 from the field, 0 assists, 5 turnovers, 26 minutes. Might be a little stretched in that role, I would say. And then Brook Lopez is the backup for Zubats. He played a season-low 6 minutes in this one. He's been too old and slow to like really be an effective backup on this team, where typically teams will have like a young bench or something, so at least they have athletes to support like an older veteran. The Clippers have all veterans, and that's part of why they've been so old and slow. Like, it's one thing when you've got like an energy point guard on the bench, but when it's Chris Paul, 40 years old, playing next to a 37-year-old Brook Lopez, it becomes kind of an issue. The Clippers, by the way, Lopez technically signed a 2-year, $18 million deal, but the second year is a team option, and based on his current production, no team is going to pick that up. So it's the way that the season is going. It looks like a lot of these guys are going to be traded at the deadline. Essentially, Brook Lopez is a $9 million expiring contract. So if the Clippers are sellers, they are going to be able to pivot when it gets to that point. Bogdan Bogdanovic is another similar guy. He makes $16 million a year next season, but it's a team option, so he's an expiring contract technically. We'll see what happens. It could be a big second half of the year for Yannick Niederhauser. He had 6 points on 3 for 3 from the field in this one in 10 minutes of garbage time. So if they do eventually move off of Lopez, and I'm sure contenders would still love to have Lopez, he'd be valuable for a playoff team in limited minutes where they can better support him defensively. Obviously, floor-stretching centers are hard to come by. A team like the Knicks would certainly love to have him. They only play Mitchell Robinson 18 minutes a game as it is. So that's how the Clippers are doing. And then let's go finish off with the Spurs, moving to 11-4 on the year, taking out the Atlanta Hawks, 135-126. 11-4, best start for them since the 16-17 season when they started off 12-3. They're 3-0 without Victor Wembanyama right now. De'Aaron Fox, 26 points, 9 assists. He's been a big part of why. Keldon Johnson stepped up with 25 points on 9 of 12 from the field off the bench. Julian Champagny, 20 points, hit 5 threes. And then Summer League darling David Jones-Garcia, 12 points, 6 assists, 19 minutes as the backup point guard, was plus 25 in this one. So I think let's actually switch his positions. And then moving over, there we go. And then finishing off with the Hawks, they dropped to 9-7, second loss in a row for them, but they've been playing a lot better. Porzingis back in the lineup, 16 points, 7 of 10 for him. Zachary Risache also back in the lineup. I'll fix that in a second. 2 points, 1 of 10 from the field. I bet they wish he didn't come back so fast from his scary hip injury. Jalen Johnson, 26 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker in what I assume is a career high. I didn't actually check. 38 points, 13 of 17 from the field, 8 of 10 from 3. Even if it's not his career high, surely the best offensive performance of his career. Hawks shot 56% from the field, which, Spurs defense doesn't have Wembanyama, but they shot 56% and they still managed to somehow lose this game by 9. Mad Bomber Onyeka Okongwu, for what it's worth, 15 points, hit 3 threes off the bench. He's been the best center, backup center in the league by far. Gives the Hawks a little bit of flexibility in terms of what they do with Kristaps Porzingis moving forward, as part of the reason for bringing in Porzingis was they needed a floor-stretching 5. But if they have a floor-stretching 5, there is a little bit of overlap. At the very least, it certainly helps them in contract negotiations with Porzingis, as it's not the end-all be-all if he decides to maybe go resign with the Boston Celtics or something during the off season. Anyway, that was today's video. A little bit of quick hitter, but really interesting games tonight. A bigger slate tomorrow. I'll see you then. Peace.